You're not being weak. You're being strategic. You're being strong. You're diffusing that conflict. You're overlooking that attack, and you're intelligently avoid the attack and start thinking, how can I come on the side instead of attacking, like listening.
See, you could solve every fight, honey.
Are you gonna replay this whenever we're having that? Like,
all he has to do is flank.
She was like, let me show you this recording from you.
We were fighting. I was like, are you flanking?
So if you don't do that, what happens? The husband says, I'm going to do the more noble thing. I'm going to be quiet, not say anything. And she takes that as what?
That he doesn't care. That's so infuriating now. Like, you want them to talk to you. Sometimes you just want them, you're telling them how you feel. You just think it's going to be easy. They're just going to be, oh, I'm so sorry, honey. I didn't mean that. I didn't want you to feel that way. And then you would be like, okay, thank you. I forgive you. But no, he takes what you're saying as a personal attack on his character, and feels like you're saying that he deliberately did something, that he just feels like you don't think he's good enough ever, that he can never please you. And so he gets either quiet or gets more aggressive with his words, and you feel less and less loved. He feels less and less respected.
When emotions go up, IQ goes down. So
we remind each other of that.
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. It hurts to hear it right in the moment.
Yeah, when you're the emotional one, but it is helpful. You realize, I'm not making sense here. It's really, you think you are when you're emotional, but no.
And then he talks about then what happens at night, right? The husband waits, and then at night when they're in bed, he starts to massage.
Don't touch me.
He's like, I'm tired. And at that moment, you're like, that's it. What am I just, what is it? Am I just a meal ticket to you? Oof. The people that you love the most are the ones that can hurt you the most, because you know how much that is going to offend her. Because I know how much that means to you, for me to. Yeah,
because the wife interprets it as, you don't want to talk to me, you don't want to work these things out, and now you want sex, it's like, you just want to use me.
That's what she would say, right? Okay, just interested in me when you want sex? Okay. There's an Ecclesiastes 9:3 verse, and he quotes here, runaway, well, he's giving some quote first. Runaway divorce statistics reveal that, as Ecclesiastes 9:3 says, insanity is in their hearts. Einstein said that the definition of insanity is keep on doing the same things and expect different results. If you are on a roll of building your business and you're so busy and you're not given time to solve these little problems, they're only going to get bigger. Don't do that. Make sure you pause and work on it. Learning to decipher, which these are the steps, right? To learn to decipher that your spouse is actually speaking in a different language. Listen, try to understand. And if you see a frontal attack, go around it and think, what's the best strategy? Don't speak so quickly if you don't know what to say. If it's not going to be inspiring, uplifting, just wait.
Yeah, because we really are communicating in code. I underline, what I say is not what you hear, and what you think you heard is not what I meant at all. We could just remember that, right? Like, okay, wait.
Say it again.
What I say is not what you hear, and what you think you heard is not what I meant at all. He gives another example where all of a sudden the husband is saying, he hears the radio on, and his wife is in the room with the radio, and he's like, are you listening to that? And there's no reply. So he yells again, are you listening to that? And there's still no answer. And finally he yells even louder, are you listening to the radio? And she yells back at him, I've been trying to listen, but you keep yelling at me and interrupting, So I'm like, oh, wow, that can happen. And really what he was thinking is, I wish they would turn off the radio if nobody's listening. So he was trying to find out if anyone's listening, but what she was hearing was like this command, like, are you listening? You need to be listening right now. And she's feeling a little frustrated that He's interrupting something she's doing, telling her she has to listen to the radio. Then she's trying to listen and he keeps yelling at her. I think that is so like, that happens.
That happens a lot. And you say that I tend to do that with a tone of voice that seems to be very exasperated or in a hurry.
Yeah, just real aggressive.
It's not at all, many times, right? I started noticing sometimes that I'll ask her to do something and she'll be like, okay. And she'll stop what she's doing and she gets on the laptop to do what I said. And I said, honey, I need to do it right now.
But it feels
it's urgent.
like
It's not urgent. Nobody's going to die if you don't do it right now. But you receive it like I said it like that, right? And it's so a huge misunderstanding, right? So you underline that. Tell us about that.
What did I underline? Okay, I underline. At a certain point, the issue isn't about turning off the radio or whatever the miscommunication may be. The wife can get irked with the husband because he isn't being sensitive. Something that most wives always anticipate or expect. So that's true. We start telling ourselves a story that he's not sensitive. In less than a minute, the wife can start feeling unloved and accuse her husband of being unloving. Meanwhile, the husband can get displeased with the wife when she starts talking to him as if he's insensitive. He starts reciting the mantra of many husbands, I can never be good enough. The husband is feeling disrespected or at least unfairly criticized again. A tiny spark in a dry forest can quickly catch fire. And if the couple doesn't know how to put it out, it can grow into a serious, what is that word? Conflagration.
Conflagrations?
A big fire.
You're asking me? It's my second language. So
yeah, I think the whole crazy cycle is that something little happens, we assign meaning to what happens, and we go into that cycle of he doesn't love me, we say something, he feels disrespected, so he says something or reacts in a way that makes us feel that we aren't loved, and we go back with disrespect.
We need to learn to read the code. When we get a negative signal, instead of telling yourself a bad story where you're the victim and they're the villain, just try to interpret what is this code. Don't attack, frontal attack. Figure out what you're going to say, don't speak, and then come in the opposite spirit. That's something that almost seems impossible to do. You need to ask God to help you with speaking from experience. Come in the opposite spirit. Remember that phrase from years ago when we were in Youth with Mission? Mm-hmm. Come in the opposite spirit. If somebody comes in anger, come in love. If somebody's impatient, come in patience.
Right. I mean, the Bible says a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger.
Yeah.
We're so quick to stir things up rather than just put out the fire, you know? Be able to hear, oh, wait a minute. He needs to hear that I respect him.
Yeah.
And she needs to hear that I love her.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be so easy. Put the fire out.
Yeah. Okay, tell us a story about the anniversary card, husband and wife.
So the husband was kind of known for not remembering and their anniversary. So one year he's like, I'm not going to forget. And he goes to the store and he thinks he finds the perfect card because he just loves the colors and he looks at it and thinks, man, she's going to love this. And he's just thinking about how he finally is remembering and how much she's going to appreciate, you know, that it's important, see that it's important to him, their anniversary. So he signs something sweet in the card and gives it to her. And she